Jacklin. Thank you so much for coming on my show. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. I've grown up watching you. You're actually now the third martial arts actor I've had the privilege this year of interviewing. And first off, I'd like to say it's an absolute pleasure to have you on my show. I've had the esteemed pleasure of interviewing Jeff Speakman. And if he's listening, a big shout out to him. I've had the interview recently. I've interviewed Chris Casamassa, who everybody remembers mainly as Scorpion from the original 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. And now, lucky number 3, I get to interview Mr. Ian Jacklin. For those who do not know who he is, kickboxing champion, martial arts actor, and author as well. So I have a triple combination over here. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I love Jeff Speakman, too. He's from my school of Kempo. I studied with Ralph Tinnick in Canada, and I got to meet him, actually, in Los Angeles. He came into the Roxbury one night. I used to work the VIP bounce. I was a bouncer, you know.
I can tell.
So that was pretty exciting because I looked up to him. And I saw your show with him. It was really good.
Thank you. You're flattering me. If I'm turning red, it's the reflection from the light over there. So first off, what I like to do with all my guests, Ian, is I like to do a few things that I've been doing recently, but I like to extend this to you because you've taken the time out to speak to me. First of all, I like to wish peace and blessings upon you and everything that you do in life. I hope it goes successful for you, and everything that you accomplish down the line, you achieve everything that you're looking forward to accomplishing in your life. So I hope that goes well for you.
Right back at you. Thank you very much. I believe in that power of prayer, power of intent. Works.
Thank you. Number 2, I'd like to say congratulations on all your accomplishments with kickboxing championships, a martial arts movie actor, and author as well. You've practically done it all, and again, congratulations to you on everything. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it because, I mean, I had a hard time getting through school. If my mom didn't sit there with like a whip and going, make me study every night, I never would have got through it. Because I wasn't interested in most of the stuff they taught. But if I find something I'm interested in, then I'll learn it really well, like the martial arts, like health, But yeah, thanks. I'm pretty proud of my accomplishments, especially this one, Alkaline. I got a bunch of books. We can go through them all. I've written so many books now that I know how to put them on. So if anybody out there wants their manuscript put into an ebook, a paperback, a hardcover, an audiobook, I can do it. I've made 7 of them already.
Congratulations on that. I'm sure they're going to be good. I'll order some from you as well, and we'll have it sent over to the UK if that's cool with you.
And you can get them on Amazon. It's way cheaper than me shipping them. So expensive to ship to Europe. Even to Canada, it's like $40 to ship a book. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
So you're better off just going to Amazon, look under Ian Jacklin, author, and all my books are up there.
We'll do that. And now for the important question, because now my show is called Chat Over Coffee, and was what I've been doing recently with some of my guests, is I need to ask you, in case we ever meet, how do you like your coffee?
I'm glad you asked. Unfortunately, I just finished drinking mine. I'm back to the alkaline water.
Awesome. At least you're keeping healthy and fit and everything.
It's great that you asked me that, because I've got the best coffee in the world, bar none, period. First of all, you have to go organic, because if you don't, most of the coffees they make that is sprayed so badly with pesticides, it's unbelievable. So get an organic coffee. You brew the coffee. I mix it with turmeric, cinnamon, coconut oil, like a half teaspoon to a teaspoon, a little bit of coconut milk, and some stevia, organic stevia. That's the only sweetener you're allowed to use if you want to be healthy. And then you blend that. And it makes the most frothy, amazing, beautiful. It's like a latte. And it's all organic. And to be really smart, you take a pinch of baking soda and put it in to take the acidity out of it. So it's now not even an acidic beverage. It's alkaline, which is, again, my book, Alkaline. It's the most important thing anybody can do for their health is to become alkaline. You don't want to be acidic. You want your pH to be at 7.4 or above. Most people are 6.3. At 4.5, you die. So again, we'll go into that more later. But to make this coffee delicious, and it's medicinal with the turmeric and the cinnamon. Those are very good spices.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I'm
Maybe
glad
use
you
it.
asked me about my coffee. I've got videos on how to make that, but now you know.
Yeah. I've seen them actually. They're actually quite intriguing, and I got to admit to that. I mean, to tell you the truth, between us and everybody else watching out there, I just keep it straight black. People ask me all the time, "How on earth do you drink coffee with no cream, no sugar?" And I just say like this. That's how I drink it. That's how I drink it. I call it the no nonsense cup. I don't, like I said, no cream, no sugar. Just keep it black. Keep it black. Yeah. I'll do that. So again, you've, like I said, bless you, you've accomplished so much in your life. And the first time I actually ever saw you was in the movie Kickboxer 3, where you're playing the opponent. And it was, I got to admit, one of the best fights I've ever seen. Both of the fights that you were in, even the training regime that you were doing in there as well. You like when your manager was like, "No, right, go at it, finish the guy off in the training," and then he was enjoying it because he had his hopes up that Martin's going to win. Eric Martin, your character, he's going to win, and it's like, no, it didn't work. It didn't at the end, but still. So, what is your martial arts background?
Like I said earlier, I started in Kempo Karate with Ralph Chinnick in London, Ontario, Canada. I got my black belt in that. But I started fighting real young. But my first fight was at 14. By 18, I was the Canadian Kickboxing Champion. And this was all above the waist fighting. I didn't learn anything about the leg kicks until later. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 22. And my dream was to go and fight for the world title. And I was a Canadian. It was hard to get fights in Canada. We fought a lot in Detroit and Michigan. But one day I decided to go to California. I jumped on my motorcycle with a tent and a sleeping bag. With 3 days' notice, quit my job, said goodbye to my girlfriend, my family, friends, everything. Went to California, Hollywood. And I started training at the Jet Center. Benny the Jet Urquidez.
Legend.
And that's sort of how it all started. I wanted to be a champion. So, and then it all kind of went from there. Within the first year, I was starring in that Kickboxer 3 because I had a good look and I was able to hit my mark and remember my lines. So it was an easy transition to my acting career. The trouble was it actually ended up making me lose some fights because I was booking so many acting jobs to try and show up for a fight when you're on the set for 14 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't have sparring and it's hard to get in your running. I lost some key fights thanks to that combination. But so that's how it all started. I got beat up when I was a little kid. My friends, well, actually, the first one, I watched my friends get beat up. My friend, first day of high school, he got beat up. And I couldn't do anything. I was held back by the bigger kids. These are big kids. And I thought, I remember I went into the room, whatever electrical class I had, and I scribed into the desk, "Never again." And I went home and I told my mom, "You got to get me in karate." I can't. I watched the Bruce Lee movie. I was like, I want to be like Bruce Lee. And that's how it all started. And I remember my trainer, Ralph Chinnick, teaching me the Kempo. And he's like, "Ian, all you got to do is learn the technique. Just keep coming." Because it's a little frustrating at first. You're scared. Everybody's, bigger than you and better than you. Yeah. But and I take instructions really well. When somebody tells me the truth, I think I read it and I take it. And he said, "Just keep coming and do the technique." And I did. And one of my best compliments from Jimmy Fields, who was my kickboxing trainer, we met just a few years ago at a party or something back in Canada. I was there. And he said, "You were the best technician I ever had." He had a lot of great fighters, world champions. For him to say I was I was the best technician, that made me proud because I was trying to make my master proud, Ralph Chinnick, and I did.
I'm sure he is very proud of you as well with all your accomplishments, just like all your fans are out there and everything. And so, what kickboxing titles have you won?
I won the Canadian at 18, I think I was.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 20. I fought at Madison Square Garden.
Awesome.
The Felt Forum in 88. This is how I remember things. I got 88 for some reason. That was because that was a turning point in my life. it was the first big fight, and I beat the hometown hero, John Kenny, who was an amazing tough guy. He went on to be champion too. Louis Neglia was the promoter there, and I think he still may be promoting MMA stuff. So that was the first big one. And then a year later, I fought for the Canadian title. Because I remember when I was fighting for the Canadian title, they mentioned that fight. That's how I can put it all together in the timeline. And then it's so long ago now. And then I won the North American title after I moved to California. Started training with Ruben Urquidez, Benny's brother, was the kickboxing trainer. Benny was he did the movie stars and he ran the club and everything. But I went sort of an offshoot to Ruben, his brother, and he's the one that trained us for the fights. And I won the North American title in Virginia. I forget the year, but it was early 90s. And then I started, and I was doing these movies. I lost my North American title to a great fighter named James Claggett. Oh, yeah. I honestly think I could have beat him if I wasn't doing movies, but whatever. I was working on the set I got 2 weeks to train for the fight, and I just didn't have the gas to go beyond. Yeah. I was tired after this first round, I remember. Oh no, I got 9 more to go or 8 more to go, whatever it was. And by the 5th round, I had been running on empty 6th round. So I knocked him down the first 5 times in the first, 5 times in the first 5 rounds. That fight's on YouTube. It's called Jacklin versus Claggett. It's still my favorite fight, even though I get the hell beat out of me. It was because I beat the hell out of him for 5 rounds, and he beat the hell out of me for 5 rounds. It's like a Rocky fight. I was on in a ski resort going up the hill one time, talking to whoever's next to you, on the thing. And he goes, I was telling him about my fighting and the fight. He goes, "That was you? You had the long hair?" And I was like, "Yeah." I go, "Oh my God, that's the best fight I ever seen. You guys were killing each other." I mean, people remember that fight if they saw it. It was a Rocky fight. The girls that I knew that were in the audience were crying. My buddies were trying to jump in the ring to, beat him up. It's like but I love it. That's what we do. We're there for the excitement. It's drama, and it's kill or be killed. And I was killing till I ran out of gas, and he killed me. So I lost my North American title. But man, you can't take it away from me. I was starring in movies in Hollywood at 22, 23 years old, having the best time of my life. So I have no regret. Yeah. And then I really just went into the movies, pretty much left the kickboxing alone. But Javier Mendez, who's owner of AKA and the trainer of Cain Velasquez, Khabib, and all those guys, yes, he got a shot at the title, or I think the title was open, so he asked to fight me because I'd already beat him. He was my first fight in California. Yeah, and I fought him on Don the Dragon Wilson's undercard. Legend. They wanted me to fight Don. I was like, I'm not fighting Don my first fight in California, which was the smartest move I made because I ended up training with Don, and we became best friends. And he also put me in movies. That's why I got into movies, because of Don the Dragon Wilson. Okay. And him and I just sparred like madmen for the whole. He was fighting a guy that I had just fought and beat, actually, Gabe Carmichael, great guy, Miss Gabe. He fought him, and I fought Javier Mendez. So, I mean, how can you lose when you got Don the Dragon Wilson as your sparring partner? And I had the full time to train.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because I remember
I
Don
had like 8 weeks. You have to train 8 weeks for a fight. Go ahead. You have a question?
Of course, yeah. No, I was going to say, because I remember Don, he was basically he was undefeated 10-time light heavyweight kickboxing champion, wasn't he? And he's been described himself as one of the biggest and one of the best kickboxers who's ever got in the ring, him and Benny the Jet Urquidez. So you got to train with them. That's a massive accomplishment, and congratulations to you for that.
Yeah, it was awesome. They're both amazing guys, too. That's the funniest thing. Whenever you find it, like you look at them on the TV and you think they're killers. But they're not. They're like soft, beautiful human beings, like nice hearts, but don't mess with them.
Of course, yeah.
So that's what happened. The dragon and I got to try. I'm the jackal, he's the dragon, and we're training together. And so I couldn't lose when I fought Javier, and it's a good thing because I remember hearing his record across the ring. Now, first time I'm fighting in Canada. And I was never a powerhouse Mike Tyson kind of puncher. I was more of a finesse technique, pick my leg up, kick you a few times in the head, put it back down, the crowd goes nuts. I never had that killer instinct. I don't want to kill anybody. But so I have maybe 3 knockouts, if that, to my record. And I hear Javier Mendez being introduced and like 10 wins, 10 knockouts. I'm like, they didn't tell me that. Okay, nobody told me that. I was like, oh well, here we go. You know, and I went in and I beat the hell out of him. I hit him with everything but the kitchen sink. He wouldn't go down. He went down a few times, but never stayed. It was a good fight, but I definitely won unanimously. And then so he always wanted to get a rematch, you know. So when he got a shot for the title, he said, "Get Ian Jacklin." It's like, Al, I'm making movies now, but what the hell? That was my childhood dream, was to fight for the title. So yes, I took it. Of course, I got a movie, I was working again 14-hour days on the set, no training, no sparring. It wasn't at all like when I was training with Dom before and for our first fight. So I lost a close decision for that world title fight, you know. And again, in my heart, I think I would have won if I would have trained properly. But again, I was starring in movies, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because I had so much fun doing movies, you know. And there was actual money in that too. There's no money in kickboxing. Like the guys today in MMA, UFC, are making so much bank that they can retire even when they're done fighting. But when we fought, I got paid, I think, $1,200 for the world title fight against Javier, maybe $2,400. I forget the number, but you know, you can't live on it. We always had full-time jobs. I was always auditioning, or I'd be working. I couldn't say no to the movie because that paid the bill.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You had to
So I ended up with the Canadian title and the North American title, to answer your question.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate that. This is interesting stories as well that you're saying. So please keep on going. So obviously, what is your current training regime? Because obviously you're still in phenomenal shape at your age. I mean, I can remember when I was speaking to Chris Casamassa, and he's still in incredible shape at his age. And you just recently had a birthday, so happy belated birthday for that as well. And you still look about, I'm guessing, I'm just guesstimating here, I'm guessing early to mid 40s, I'm guessing.
Nice, good. That's what I'm submitting myself for as an actor. You know, anything from 35 to, I had to put my real age, which is 57. No, but chance. I don't know if I don't think I'm going to pass. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. No, but you look phenomenal for your age. But then again, when you do martial arts from a young age, the training of it always carries on for the rest of your life, doesn't it? So if the same thing with fitness in general. You start at a young age, and it will keep you youthful for the rest of your life, won't it? I remember going to high school, and I graduated back in '99, and I bumped into somebody who I hadn't seen since high school, and I kid you not, he looks about 20 years older than me, and yet we're the same age. We graduate at the same time. Yeah.
It was insane. Well, it was insane seeing him like that.
What's key is that you, as you say, stick to the physical.
Yeah.
So and the reason why is again, it's about alkalinity. It's all in this. You need to be alkaline, not acidic. He was probably very acidic. From what he eats. If you eat meat, dairy, sugar, drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, are really stressed in your life. That all these days, the 5G or any Wi-Fi is not good. Even the 3 and 4G wasn't great, but 5G is horrible. So it's all really hurting our acidosis levels, our pH. You got to think of your body as a fish tank because it's mainly water, course, right? Yeah. And if it's lower, like 6.3 is average, that's not good. It should be 7.4. And again, at 4.5, you die. People in their cancers are at 5. You can go and get a pH strip from anywhere on Amazon, local drugstore. Get a pH strip, be on it in the morning. It'll tell you what your pH is. It's going to give you an accurate measurement of your interstitial fluids of the interstitium. The interstitium is the largest organ of the body, larger than the skin even, because it's actually all the space around the cells. Okay, and that's the only technical thing I'll say about it. It's really simple. Think of your body as a fish tank, and if it's dirty water, it's going to kill the fish. If it's clean and oxygenated, they're going to thrive. So that's what we want. Now, here's the secret. Baking soda. Teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water after your meals, especially if you're having a cheat meal. And I still do. And the good thing about this, it's an 80-20 diet. Alkaline doesn't mean all vegan. It means 80% of the time. So during the week, I'm pretty much vegan. But on the weekends, I could have a burger if I want some ice cream. You can cheat a little. It's okay. 80-20. There was another point I was going to make there, but that's basically it. You can, and you'll find your natural body weight. If you have any degenerative diseases on the way or there, like the C word, I don't even like to use that word anymore, but you know what I mean when people get, they die, because they usually die of the radiation and the chemo.
Yeah.
So my first book was called I Cured the C word. My first documentary before that was called that, I Cured the C word. And it was all because a girlfriend of mine cured herself of terminal cervical cancer in the 90s. And I learned how she did it. And it was by getting alkaline. We didn't know the name of it then. She just cut out meat, dairy, sugar, and took supplements and meditated and sweat. So I don't know if I've kind of jumped too quickly into the whole book writing thing, but that's what got me from the martial arts and acting into the author area. Well, first it was filmmaking. Because what are you going to do? You find, like, for me, it's almost like being in battle on in the war back in the day. And the guy comes up to you and gives you the map, the secret to the winning the war. And he dies and he gives it to you. And he goes, give this to the general, you know, because I got this from Dr. Bernardo Mihalika. He's a holistic guy, a naturopathic doctor. And he ended up passing away, but he gave the program to me because it was in my movie. He's the star of my documentary, I Cured Cancer. So, I just had to run with it because it worked. I watched it worked. I interviewed all his patients that it worked for. So then when people started coming to me saying, you know, I got skin cancer, I got breast cancer, I got brain cancer, I'd say, well, here's the map. It's not mine, I don't know. But it seemed to be working for these people. And they would take it, and it worked for almost everybody. Not everybody, but almost all the time. Because it comes down to the simple fact that we are supposed to be alkaline. We're born out with a pH around 7.4. Thanks to what we eat, drink, think, and breathe over the years, it'll drop into the 6s and the 5s. Again, at 4.5, you die. So we can change that. Doesn't matter if you're stage 4 right now, ready to die, or being inundated with the chemo, the radiation. People have made it's harder if you've already started all that. You can still make it back. Oops, all right. That's all right. Turn that off. So that is let me just lay it out. Sorry. That's the bottom line, is we get people alkaline.